Good afternoon, everybody. It's Brittany here for another quick update. It's Sunday afternoon here in Australia. Super casual day. Just been grocery shopping. Wow, how exciting! But it's been a pretty good weekend. My wife's just ducked down to pick the boys up from a scout camp that they've been on overnight. It is winter here, so it would have been absolutely freezing last night. So I hope they were warm enough. But it meant that we had a child-free evening. So we went into Sydney. We got a chance to go and see a movie, which was great. And then we had a meal in a restaurant, a couple of drinks in a bar, and then came home and pretty much fell asleep on the couch because that's the party animals that we are. But it was really nice just to spend that nice time together. So after a pretty rocky week, it was nice to unwind and have some good experiences. I had a little bit of, let's just call it hate. I had some hate during the week and it was pretty rough because I think it's just the first time that I've really experienced any hate. And so it left me a little bit fragile, to be honest, for the week. And even last night, I was still just not quite myself. I've been very confident out in public, but I just felt a little bit weird last night. Don't know why. Nothing really happened. There were a couple of things where there was just some strange dude in the bar that we're at that just kept looking at me. I don't know if he was trying to get my attention. I don't know the reasons why he was looking at me, but anyway, nothing happened there, so it was nothing to worry about. But then we went to the restaurant. There was an intimate restaurant, a table for two, and there was another table for two right next to us, and there was what looked like a husband and wife. Good for them. And we were there first. We'd already ordered some drinks and things, and by the time they came and sat down, and we were close to each other, so you were listening to each other's conversations, but you couldn't help but hear the voices of one another. And so what I thought was happening was, so they'd sat down and they looked over at us, and I'm assuming the first thought would have been, oh look, there's two girls having dinner. You can make whatever assumption you like with that. But then when one of those girls opens her mouth to speak and the tone of the voice is heard, it was like, and then I was like, I don't know am I just being paranoid? I don't know. But then it felt like every time I spoke, it was like this reflex action for this person just to look over at me every single time I said a word. So it got a little bit awkward there. I did end up turning my chair, so my sort of side profile's not the best. Anyhow, just so I couldn't make eye contact with him, and he wasn't in my peripheral. So every time I spoke to my wife, he wasn't staring at me, so I could still enjoy my meal and have a nice night. So after the red wine, to be honest with you, it really didn't matter anymore, and I didn't really care. But look, we came home and it was lovely. We had a nice sleep in this morning, cup of coffee in bed, and then we got to go for a great bike ride. We did over 20 kilometres. It's been a while since my wife has come on a ride. There was a period where we all went together, or she and I would go quite a bit. And it's kind of cool on Facebook now. You get your 12 months ago memories that pop up and remind you. So it was this time 12 months ago that I was pretty much recovered from my stomach surgery. And this was the point where I really started to ramp up my exercise as I could at the time, because I was still recovering from fairly significant surgery. I'm really into scarves at the moment. I've raided my wife's scarf cupboard. So yeah, scarves are all the go. I'm wearing them to work and I'm wearing them socially. I just think they're pretty cool. So bike ride, we ended up going down to a nice little cafe. So we stopped and had a coffee, and I'm there in my lycra leggings and my fitted Lorna Jane jacket, just wearing all the things that I've always wanted to be wearing in public on my bike. And just another little thing. It's a little thing that was very validating and feeling cool. So, and I've told you before, I'm lazy. I don't take my makeup off at night, so I've still got residual lipstick and eyeliner, and you know. Anyway, I was feeling comfortable and feeling good. And there were plenty of other people there, and I didn't think twice anybody was looking at me or judging me, which is the way it should be. So at home, did a bit of housework. I've got the dryer going now, washing machine's going now, vacuuming, doing the dishes, etc., just tidying up the house generally. Ready for the new week. Wow, what an exciting update this is. This is riveting stuff, isn't it? Woohoo! So now, after I finish recording this, I'm going to go and wash my hair, ready for the week, and then do my nails. As you can see, they're a little bit... I didn't know that you were supposed to use a base coat, and my sister's since wised me up to this. Thank you for that. But I didn't know you were supposed to use a base coat. So, after 47 years of desperately wanting to paint my nails, now it's like every single day my nails are painted. And obviously I was using reds and some pretty deep colours, so it stained my nails. And I didn't know that. They're almost grown out. So now I know base coats are essential. But we've got my sister-in-law's baby shower next weekend, and I've been invited as one of the girls, which is lovely. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to book myself in if my calendar at work this week permits it, and I'm going to get the tips put on. I'm going to do the French polish, which, again, something I've wanted just my whole life. No big deal. So it's Sunday afternoon. I think I started by saying that. So hair, nails, I'm about to pour myself a glass of wine. I'll sip that slowly while I'm doing my nails, because I have also learned, pro tip for any of you newcomers, that drinking wine and painting nails don't necessarily mix that well. Because you think you've done a great job and you wake up in the morning and you go, oh my God, clearly I need to redo those. So yeah. What am I documenting here? My life, I suppose. The good times. Last week, or this week that is now ending. Definitely. Trans women suffer the effects of PMS, and guess whose time it was for that again? Wow. I don't think I've ever cried so much than I did last week. Like waking up in the morning, opening my eyes and then crying, like instantly. Or maybe I was even crying in my sleep. I was having some horrible nightmares. I've documented earlier that I have had some issues with insomnia, and I'm taking a new medication for that. And yeah, sure, I'm sleeping, but boy, I'm having some pretty awful dreams whilst I'm sleeping. So, it's all a balancing act. You got to try and figure out what works and what doesn't. So at least I'm not as tired. But yeah, waking up crying, figure that. And then crying, just for no reason, just crying. And then all those crappy things that happened to me with those crappy people that I had encountered, I think that also gave me more reason to be sad and emotional and more crying. So yeah, it was a pretty rough week. I've got to say it was. But and then Friday morning, someone just flicked a switch. It's like, all right, your turn's over, turn it to off. And then I'm back to this. I'm back to me being happy again. But with this time with some residual kind of, let's call it a hangover. Let's call it PMS hangover. Just this one really rattled me. It really did. Going back to the start of this week when I had that fall, that's how it all started. I fell over on the pedestrian crossing whilst I'm wearing a skirt. One of my biggest fears, just embarrassing beyond belief. I was beside myself. So that started it, and then it continued from there. So, but pleasing to report, and maybe here's something that's of value to you, people who are watching. If you're a trans woman and you're new on your journey, expect that you'll get PMS symptoms. Expect that they will be severe some months and not so severe others. And I guess that's just part of being a woman. I suppose cisgender women have the same experience. Some have them quite severely, some just get on with it, which is what I've been told to do in no uncertain terms. So that's what I'm documenting. But just know that it passes. Yeah, it's like a flu. You feel miserable and crappy, and when you've got it, but then when it's gone, it's gone. and you feel totally back to normal and totally back to your happy self. Except you get to look forward to it the next week, and it's kind of like rolling the dice. What am I going to get? Let's say on a severity of 1 to 6, a 6-sided die. Roll that dice. I'm going to get a 1. I'm going to get a 6, or something in between. Wow, it's the unknown factor of what we're going through. So yeah, if you're a trans girl, it's going to happen if it's not happening already, but it'll get better, and it'll pass, and you'll get used to it. Maybe I thought I was, but not. God, sorry if that offends anybody. Who would have thought 7 or 8 months ago that I'd be standing here in front of you talking about my experiences with PMS? This is Brittany's male to female transgender channel, so if you've tuned in, you are obviously interested in the experiences of a trans woman, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Anywho, I'm going to finish up now because I am going to go and start painting my nails, washing my hair, and drinking red wine for the evening. And I hope you all have had a lovely weekend. If you're still going through your weekend, you lucky souls, keep enjoying that. But just remember, my parting message today is be kind. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. That's all. See ya.